now. And so we're going to get started and we'll just let people in as they join because that will happen, Vince, as always. So welcome. Thank you for being here, Vince. And I always have called you Vince, but do you prefer Vincent? I just probably made up my own
I'm
name.
easy, Vincent. And in the end, my friends start calling me Vinny. I don't, whatever.
Okay, I won't do that, but
yeah.
That's funny. If I start calling you Vinny, then you can be like, all right, Carrie, hold up.
You've known me a while to do that.
Yeah. Vince Meza, who is with Listings to Leads. If you have ever heard of this company, they're an awesome company that has made marketing of listings so much easier, simple, and doable, in my opinion, for the average real estate agent. And simple and quick and efficient is what we all need, because otherwise most of us as real estate agents, and I'm speaking for myself too, we just don't do it. And that was one of the things that was the first thing that I thought was really appealing about this program years ago when I saw it is, wow, it's really like a one-stop shop, and it's going to help you do all the things that you should be doing to market your listings, the product that you sell as a realtor, to get the most exposure for your listing, but also to continue to get as many leads to fund your business. You know, back in the day, we used to say, if you got a listing, you should have at least 3 more transactions come from that listing. And if you didn't, you weren't doing something right. That number might be a little bit different today, but I think it's still a fact that we have a product. We should be doing what we need to be doing with this to continue to fund our business. And that's a lot about what I learned from Listings to Leads. But I'm excited today because a lot has changed and they have continued to optimize, grow this, and make it better. And so we're going to learn some things, hopefully, from Vince about marketing our listings, but also learning about this program because it may be a solution for you or somebody that you know. And as you heard, he works with a lot of coaching companies because they implement this strategy with their clients to help their clients be more successful. And so if you're leading a group of people, this may be an interesting, opportunity for some of them. So without further ado, Vince, if there's anything else that you'd like to share about yourself or your company, please do. And then we'll just let you take it away.
Well, I'll just give you a little nostalgia stuff because you were talking earlier about how long we've known each other. We've been around since 2009, and when we first started, we had one tool. It was a one-click posting for Craigslist, and back in the day, Craigslist was a hotbed of lead gen, and there were companies like Postlets was out there, and we were kind of like that. We looked super cool, like a Postlets webpage, but we had multiple hyperlinks, and so we captured so many leads that's how we got introduced to Keller Williams, because Keller Williams is big into Craigslist at the time too.
Yes.
List Hub, the national syndication platform, saw us as an awesome avenue. And so they pulled us in as a partner for all of their clients around the country. And then we took what we were doing there, which frankly is call to actions. That's really what really changed what we brought to Craigslist. And we applied it to everything that realtors do, right? So there's a lot of things that realtors are thinking of. They're thinking of course, their whole business and advertising, but part of it is print, in their farm markets. Part of it is online advertising, and some of it is social media, and some of it is really your CRM. You got a big database of people, and most of us don't really think, what do we have as a real consistent strategy to hit that? Fortunately, we know that about realtors. We know that about the space. And so we've taken all the tools that most realtors have and use, and we have optimized them just like we optimized that Craigslist single tool back 13 years ago. And we've got things that have multiple call to actions for all those platforms. I don't know if you want me to show you what this looks like, or
that'd be
okay.
Great.
Okay.
And Postlets, you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Who else remembers Postlets? Like that was so long ago. I haven't heard that word for probably 15 years. So thank you.
It's funny. Well, companies come and go, but I remember Postlets because that was the first thing that we were kind of looking at as a competitor.
Yeah.
We quickly moved on to single property websites and landing pages, but I'm going to show you the rest. Just as a high level, we have tools for you if you have listings, and we have tools for you if you don't have listings. There are actually over like 200 tools in the platform right now, and some are like PDFs for buyers or sellers. I'll show you where those are. You have unlimited landing pages. We have all the things like, virtual tours and single property websites. But again, just to not sound repetitive, a lot of you have these, from multiple different, sources and companies. It's just nobody's really generating the kind of leads that we do. And as I log into my thing, I'm going to kind of just hit the brakes one time and let you know, like, realtors are all used and comfortable with the model of spending, you know, 300 to 500 a month, maybe 1,000 a month, and getting 20 leads or 40 leads a month. Like that's been going on all over the place. And you have those things in EXP today. That is not listings to leads at all. Actually, for a single agent account, it's $60 a month, and it's month to month. There's no annual contract. And some of the things you turn on, and there's all this automatic stuff happening. You start getting leads for free, and that's awesome. But if you actually did take some ad spend and use some of our print tools and upped your budget, your ad budget to like $400 or $500 a month, you'd find yourself having hundreds of leads every month. And that volume is good, because even if you're getting an internet lead from realtor.com or Zillow, there's still a percentage that just aren't going to go anywhere. And so you want to have a good pipeline of a lot of lead sources, and that's exactly what this is. So let's kind of look at it here. There's two areas that really we kind of live in, that our clients live in, and that is listings. And then the other section is ads. So I'm going to just start with listings. And I want to point out that if you don't have listings, if you're okay with borrowing a listing, there's a button right here that says grab active listing. You just drop in the zip code and the MLS ID, and we grab it in with the photos. It's going to look like your listings. It's also going to capture leads only for you, right?
So Vince, really quick, in EXP, those of you guys, just to remind you, because we're one big brokerage, you literally have access to the listings throughout your entire state. You just have to go and ask the agent for permission to promote it. But 99.9% of the time, they're going to say yes, because why wouldn't they want their listing promoted, right? But that's just a reminder. That's one of the benefits of being at EXP, is you don't have to just stick to your franchise, because we're all one brokerage in your entire state. So you should have access to a lot of listings, and you can be strategic about which ones maybe you want to be promoting, because you can, do it in areas in which you live or work or want leads in, right? So that's just as a reminder.
That's awesome. That's a great benefit to have, because we don't all have listings all the time, and you certainly have farm markets that you want to develop. And so I'm going to just dive into one market here. When you click market listing, this shows you all the tools that we're automatically generating. And I'm going to kind of go through them fairly quickly. I want to point out that we have Facebook software embedded in this platform. So to run an ad on Facebook, you just click one button, right? Create the ad. We're using what's called Facebook lead form. So what's going on is when the lead form pops up on Facebook, it has their name, phone number, and email already pre-populated from their profiles. And we all need our phone number and email in case we get locked out or kicked out of our account. That's how you're going to get into back into your account. So our clients are getting a lot of leads with name, email, and phone number. All you got to do is click create ad. I do want to point out, if you can see it, mine is sponsored by Listings to Leads. The first step for you is to connect your Facebook business page. So all the branding, right, of these ads, which literally are seen thousands of times each time you run an ad for 5 or 7 days, all that branding is going to you, and those leads are going only to you, right? And if you have whatever CRM you have, you can connect that on the profile, and the lead's going to go straight into there as well. So that's one of the important things. And people are asking me, and I talk to realtors all day long. Sorry, my Alexa is talking over there. And one thing that's shifted in the market, obviously, is interest rates have gone up, and buyers are sitting on the sideline. And if you have a listing, a lot of people are saying we have two problems. We need to get more people in this house to see the home, and we need to show to our clients that we're actually doing something, right? And I don't mean to be facetious there, but if you had a listing 6 months ago, it would be sold in 4 days, and it was very easy to prove your value. Well, now it's going to hang out for a couple months probably, and so you need to say, hey, this is what I have. We're doing ads. Got things for social media. We have print tools. We have all these electronic tools. You don't have to tell them that we're doing it for you, right? It's what you're bringing to the table. And we actually have a really awesome listing presentation that covers all of these things, and our clients are using it right now. We just launched Google Ads integration. And so if you notice that what I was showing you on Facebook, We basically turned creating a Facebook ad into one click, right? Choose your property and click publish, which is awesome, right? And you get leads and name, email, and phone number. That's great. So we just launched the same thing with Google. And now you can either run an ad to get more buyers with your listings or an ad to get more listings. And one of the, just as an aside, one of the top keyword searches that's trending right now in the US is sell my home. And that's interesting, but really to me, it kind of blows my mind because there are so many realtors in the US. I've been talking to them forever. There's so many great ones and great teams. And still the top trending search is, how do I sell my home? That means they don't actually have the answer at the top of their head, right? They don't know it's you, Haley, in the area. They're going to the web and saying, hey, how do I sell my home? And of course, you guys might not be at the top of that first page, but that's where a Google ad gets you at the top of that first page. And so you definitely want to learn about how to have that in your business with or without listings to leads. Google is the #1 place where people search. You want to understand how that's going to help your business. Now, if we go here to social media posts are things that a lot of realtors know how to do, right? They know how to share things. And, on Facebook, we all know how to share what we eat. I was just traveling in Nashville. I share pictures of that and the cool stuff I see. So we all know how to do that. But this is an automated post that we do for you automatically, right? It's got hashtags and emojis. And you may know that you actually should be putting emojis on everything you do in social media because it forces our eyes to slow down. And you may have heard that from gurus, but who has time to do that, right? And so here we're doing it for you automatically. We're putting a photo here automatically. And if somebody clicks on this free automated post, we're going to drive them to another tool, which we call a listing landing page. And this is very high level. If you want the details, you got to click that blue button, which everybody loves to click in like a half of an eye blink. And now we have their name and email, and we're emailing it to you, right? And we say thank you from you, and then we drop them on the single property website that we also created for you, right? And I'm going to say one thing, and this is, a big part of listings to leads when we're doing listing marketing is like this home has an open house coming up, right? But while we're showing that, we always have multiple call to actions to say, what is your home worth? And we do this because we just are applying common sense. All of you know that if somebody wakes up today and wants to sell their home, they don't just start calling random realtors, right? They don't go to the phone book and do that. They start researching for months, right? Or weeks in the space. So if you're marketing with our tools, you're going to have multiple opportunities to find out if they actually own a home. The call to actions, the main one that pops up here for follow this home, says what's your name and email, but then it says, do you own a home? And if they say yes, do you need to sell it? And so we get those quick answers from people. And Carrie was mentioning something before we started the call, or right then, about the fact of you should get multiple transactions from a listing, right? And that's a true statement. But I think with listings to leads, I'm going to show you something that one of our clients has said, and a lot of our clients have found. A couple of years ago, somebody came in and said, who here gets 2 listings a month strictly from our platform, right? From listings to leads, because she didn't want to, and she asked a great question. What is the one thing, right? I just want that one magic bullet. And of course, a bunch of our clients jumped in, but one guy jumped in and he said this. He said, we average 2 listings from each marketed listing, right? All from L2L tools, Facebook ads, mailers, and open houses, trying to get that above 3. When Dustin Fox said that, he was a rookie agent doing $5 million a year in an office just south of DC in Maryland. He was doing $5 million a year in production. And after I rolled out that office, he started taking our classes and learning everything. He went to 20 million, and he jumped on a call with us and said, hey, the reason I want to do this call is I went from 5 to 20 in 2 years, and 80% of my business is coming from your tools. And it's literally those things that he said, the Facebook ads, the mailers, and the open houses. And so what we're looking at over here is open house marketing. You just save the open house. This social media post that goes to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, it happens automatically. If you go over there to Facebook and Instagram and click one button that says publish, it's out. You're going to get name, email, and phone number. There's a great tool here. This actually helps you get listing leads, but it's also designed for the homeowner. So it's something that you're sharing with the homeowner. They put it on their wall and they're telling all their friends and family that you are their realtor, right? And so if you like referrals, this is a really great tool to use. But I won't go through everything in detail. I do want to point out this one right here. This is the #1 tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay, it's called a nearby homeowner letter. And we have a lot of tools that generate listing leads for you. Some in print, some online, some through your CRM, right? And this is the one that doesn't generate like 50 leads at a time. It generates 5 or 10. But when people mail 100 or 200 of these out to the neighborhood, they get one or two listings. And that's really what you want to have. And if you look at it, it's not super sexy, right? It just says, hey, we got an open house. Go take this piece of paper in your house and go look at it there. But that's going to affect your home value. And you can get your free home value here. And you kind of know what this looks like over here. This is a home valuation landing page. And if they fill that out, that's going to you. Now, a lot of you have probably seen pages like this, right? And realtors have been running ads on Facebook for years and wherever they can to get this in front of people. But that's online, right? That's online, and online, essentially it takes longer to convert those leads, right? But when you mail this into a neighborhood, well, that can be really effective. And if you mail it, I'm going to show you something here and we'll kind of move on. This guy here, Chris, came up a couple summers ago and he said, hey, I got 5 listings in 3 months using that letter.
Why are you not moving?
Why am I not moving?
Oh, sorry.
I think I'm moving. Yeah. So this guy, Chris, I'm just going to tell you a story. This was in summer of 2020, comes in and says, hey, I got 5 listings in 3 months. And what he doesn't tell you is he just moved to San Antonio, Texas from out of state. So he was a realtor with no name recognition in this town. And he goes into this new office and starts borrowing listings like you can and he's like, I want to own my neighborhood. I bought a home in a great neighborhood and I'm going to borrow listings there. And so he sent this letter out on, sometimes it was just listed, sometimes it was open house, sometimes it was sold, but he gets it out into his market every 2 weeks. And that's been a major part of his business. If we fast forward now to the beginning of this year, he, of course, became the top producer in that office and now has started his own office, right? And the first thing he does is goes out to YouTube and starts creating training videos on here's how I customize listings to leads to get more business for me. And so he is trying to teach his potential new agents, hey, if you want to grow in real estate, you got to use this platform. So it's a really good story. But basically, I will tell you this tool here, it's talked about in our mastermind group for years because it is the most effective tool. But our clients have had to literally download it like I did, stuff it in envelopes. Some of them handwrite envelopes and some people mail it first class and all these things to make sure that their neighbors open these things. But now we have a new integration with a company called Express Copy that if you have an account with them, you can just go, I want 100 pieces to go out to this zip code, and I want them to have 5 or 10 years equity in the property for them to get this. So we just like simplified our top tool down to being done very efficiently and very quickly. I do mention that if you've got a good database, if you've got a good CRM with hundreds or thousands of people, we create that online in an online version, right? Here's the open house up here. That's going to affect your home value down here and all your favorite lead gen links and things down here, your reviews and stuff like that. Now we do create single property websites and virtual tours. We do have postcards and door hangers, and like that letter I just showed you, print's been around longer than the internet. So a lot of realtors know, like, I got to mail something. I don't know why I got to mail something, but I got to do it. And if you ask an agent about their ROI on their print campaigns, the eyes just go right in the back of the head. And because the call to action is call me when you need help. But not everybody wants to be calling realtors all the time, right? So here on the front, you might not be able to see it, is a link. Go there if you want to find out about that open house. And of course, you're going to become a lead. But on the back, it's always going to say, we've got, that's going to affect your home value. So go there to get your free home value. So again, it's all about call to actions. It's getting information to people, because people are always researching. If they own a property or if they want to buy a property, they're not just walking in blindly. They're doing research. So you can see we've got integrated QR codes and things like that. We also have sign writers and we have text as well. So there's just a lot going on for marketing of listings. Okay. There's also the whole ad platform. And I mentioned earlier, we have integration with Facebook software. We have integration with Google software. But there's some cool stuff in here that you should see. I'm getting a red air mark because I forgot. I don't know how to connect my Google stuff. But on Facebook, and this is also true for Google, you can run listing ads, landing page ads, and PDF guide ads. And I just want to point out, we've kind of ran a couple of listing ads, but I'm going to do a listing ad on a home that's sold. And a lot of people don't have listings right now, right? But if you sold something in the past couple of months and you want more listings, one of the smartest things you could do is mail out that letter that I've just mentioned and said, we sold that home and that affects your home value. Go get your free home value. Another smart thing is to run an ad like this, which says, we sold that home and that's going to affect your home value. Click here to get your instant home value. So in order to run this, you just click publish. Okay. And that's how it's going to work. Now, also on the ad section, if you don't have any listings or anything and you want to get something out there, we actually have PDF reports. We have 80 of them, half of them for buyers and half of them for sellers. And so if I go here and I say, I want to create a PDF guide ad, you can decide what you want to focus on, right? Do you want to focus on getting buyers right now, or do you want to focus on getting sellers? Now, you can go over here and change the color scheme so it matches, EXP brands and stuff like that. You can also download them right here, and you'll notice that you are branded on every page of these things. Or you can just click create an ad. And now when you create an ad, you will have to take an extra step and type in, the name of the town you want it to be in, and then click publish. And so when this goes out, if somebody wants to download that guide, they have to give you their name, email, and phone number first, and then they can download it right then. So it's a really fast way of doing that. I'm going to give you one more example of an ad, and I'm going to talk a little bit about listing ads, because that's a big thing that people like to do, is they want more listings. And I know if you have listings, you kind of need more buyers right now. But the easiest way to get buyers is honestly a Facebook ad and using a handful of our tools out there just to get the word out. But running a home value ad is something that agents have been doing for a long time. And agents, they hear that we have landing pages, that we have unlimited landing pages. You should basically be creating a landing page for every farm market that you've got, right? Most agents want to build their business in 3 or 4 or 5 different towns or neighborhoods. You should have a landing page like this speaking to every one of those towns. However, if you're in an area, like I'm close to San Francisco, there's a lot of towns, like 5 minutes, there's a town there and there's a town over there. And an ad like this, because you cannot shrink your radius, is many times not very effective. We have a workaround, so you'd have to get on our YouTube channel to figure it out. But these can be a little bit of a waste of time and money. They're okay for branding. They're not really good for getting leads. So, but a lot of clients do this. And if you're in an area where the towns are really spread out, then this kind of ad can work really well. So before I move out of this section, I do want to just give you a little bit of information about trying to get listings. If you're using Facebook to get listing leads, when you create a listing ad for a sold property, and we analyze on a quarterly basis, hundreds of thousands of dollars being spent on Facebook through our platform. And I just want to give you these numbers so that you understand this. A sold ad, if you run a sold ad and you want leads from that, listing leads, they cost about $6 each, okay? If you run a PDF guide ad, one of those 40 for homeowners, those leads cost around $10 each. And if you run a landing page like, hey, find out what your home is worth in Cincinnati, those are about $15. So same $50 ad just gets fewer leads or more leads based on what you're doing. And that's just, Facebook sets those prices. It's not an equal price across the country. So if you run an ad in Stockton, California, which is a small town in the middle of the state, your lead might cost this. If you run the same exact ad in Manhattan, I guarantee it's going to cost you a lot more for those leads. Okay. So that's just a little bit how Facebook works. Also worth noting, it's, well, where are we? Right about the end of October, right after Thanksgiving. A lot of realtors just take a nap until the sun comes back out in the spring. You will find lead gen go down so cheaply on Facebook because so much of your competition is just taken off. And you should really be building your database through the winter with ads so that you can really start to work on that pipeline and be running hard on the spring. Don't take a nap in the winter if I can get you to do anything. Even if you're not using us, like there's a lot of lead gen happening, especially on social media, because we're all on holiday and we're sitting there and it's cold and I'm in front of my computer now. We've got some other cool things here. I didn't show you the Google ads, but I mentioned earlier, we make it so simple to run an ad. It's literally like, I think all you got to do is type in the town that you want and then click publish. And if you've ever tried to run an ad in Google, it's a bit of a nightmare. It's not easy. And so both for Facebook and for Google, we've made it super easy. And I really think you should all be taking advantage of it. Obviously, Google is the #1 website in the country. In any business, even if you're selling carpets or eyelashes or cars, but definitely real estate, you should have Google and Google strategy. And we're just going to make it really easy for you. So on some side stuff that's really new, there's a tab here that says social. It's really social content. And I kind of liken it to the company, what's it called? Making Current Matters or something like that. Keeping Current Matters. And it's basically a company that will put out content on your social media so you don't have to. It's kind of like that, but it is different because Scott and I I don't think people really like to read really boring financial news all the time. I read really boring financial news all the time. And I know most of us rather look at sports, right? Or something cool or colorful. And that's really the point of this. When you come to this page, we're going to say connect to your social media pages. Then we're going to ask you, how often do you want us to publish for you? You can have it every day. And then you can say, hey, I want some of these topics that I like: kitchen design, outdoor living, patios and decks. And if you want, you can drive in. Here's one here on repairing and things like that. But you can click on the eyeballs here, and that's a signal that you can see what we're doing. So you can actually click in here and see all the articles that we're doing. Frankly, I think that's deeper than any agent wants to go. I think you just want to turn on the ones that you want to be using, and then it's pretty easy. So just go to social. It's all automatically going to go on. I will tell you this is not the part of the section or a part of listings to leads that generates a lot of leads, right? It's really just to get good content on your social media platforms, so you don't have to go do that. All you got to do is check the button up here and save it, and that will turn on that whole thing, and that'll just start going out automatically. I think EXP has a big kind of nationwide, what do you call it? CRM, correct? Is it KB Core that you're doing there?
Yeah, we use KB Core here.
Yeah. So we did just launch follow-ups. I don't think you want to mess with that because it's a drip campaign for either buyers or sellers. But I do want to point out that if you go to your profile and you go to CRM integration, you're going to see that we have the API for KB Core right here. So it's a really good flow of leads capture leads from any of our platforms here. You can then put them, automatically into your CRM. So there's more fun stuff hidden around. I think your heads are probably spinning at this point already. Can I answer any questions for you? I had a large cup of coffee this morning.
I think it would be great to just ask them questions, specific things, because, you know, what are you doing right now for your listings, and maybe how would this help you streamline it or be better? So like, don't hesitate to pick his brain a little bit and see how this would work. Because one of the things that I've always loved about listings to leads, and I was just talking to somebody on text who said, oh yeah, I've been still using this since you introduced me to Keller Williams. This is as long ago. This top agent that I work with, she's still using it. But it's very streamlined. It's just one, you know, very affordable fee. And it's just like, you get to do a lot of things, and you don't have to be trying to learn and figure out and do all of the individual steps in such a clunky way. And I think that's where, you know, realtors get bogged down, is everything takes so long. And like, you do maybe 2 things with your listing, but you don't get around to all the rest of the things, you know?
And the nice thing about our stuff is we do a lot of it for you automatically. You do have to set it up, right, and connect this to that or whatever. But then it's all happening automatically. And that, you know, can get a lot of your marketing done for you. But if you want like an extra reach, you want more leads, you want more listings, there are a few steps that are going to take a few more things, you know, a few more steps. This is, by the way, our listing presentation. I mentioned it earlier, and our clients are downloading this. You'll be branded on every page and things like that. But it talks about all the things that we're providing, not about listings to leads that you're providing. It's really tough to be competitive against this thing because we just do a whole lot. So yeah, I definitely want to open it up for questions. And by the way, you can get that right there.
Okay, so I wondered whether there was different levels of pricing, or is it purely you go in at $60 per agent and then you do add-on, you know, pricing for different ads?
That's a good question. Let me take us to our homepage where you can sign up. You can always start off with a free trial, and everything that I've shown you is included in the free trial, right? And when you do that, it's going to give you, let's just click on agents here. There are some price points here that always sort of throw people off. But it's basically, it's $60 a month if you have 0 listings, and $60 a month if you have 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. That's it, right? $60 a month. If you have 15 listings or up to 20, then it's $80 a month. So an additional $20, and you can keep 10 more listings in there. I think one thing I would recommend, you know, everybody thinking about is you keep a couple of your sold listings in there. You have your new listings in there, your active listings. Maybe you've got a FSBO or 2 in there. They're borrowed listings, whatever kind of listing is sitting in there, that's 1 of the 10, right? Even if it was sold 3 months ago, if it's holding a slot, that's how that works. I mentioned that there is an additional $30 fee, or maybe I forgot to mention, for the Google ad. That's not coming with this. That's like a totally new technology. That doesn't include the ad budget. And I think I'll just state this. I'm pretty sure you know that already, but for $60 a month, this doesn't cover unlimited Facebook ads. You still want to go have your budget, you know, for Facebook. Yeah. Similarly with Google, it's $30 to have that addition and the access to Google, but you'll still have an ad budget for Google. And then one thing which I also think is a cost, which I definitely recommend, is, you know, if you're doing print with postcards or using our letters, obviously there's going to be a cost there. But I'll kind of repeat what I had said earlier on the call here. You know, if you're spending a few hundred on ad budget, on online ads, and you're doing a monthly budget on print, you're going to wind up with hundreds of leads a month. You're not going to wind up with 20 leads a month. And that's really the market. That's really, I can't remember, there's a platform in EXP that does that. It's like 500 a month and 25 leads or something like that.
So what about if it's an individual agent? So just to give people an idea, because we have different people here. So we do have team leaders, so they could definitely do this, and then they can provide those leads to their, like, not every agent on the team has to do that. The team leader could do it, and they could share the leads with each other. And so that becomes more cost effective. So they could do that if they're sharing leads in business anyway. Yeah. If it's a solo agent, let's just say that just doesn't have a huge budget, they're going to go borrow a listing or 2, you know, every month from other EXP agents to get their business off the ground. This is a pretty affordable thing, because for $60, they could choose an ad spend, but they can choose it so it doesn't have to be a certain amount. And if they only wanted to have 10 or 15 leads or something like that, then that could be more affordable. Am I hearing that correctly? Or is there like a...
Yeah, no, I think if you just have our basic package, and we didn't get into the landing pages here, but there are print tools. There are print tools that you can just print on your printer here and get out into the market to offer free home values for all the neighborhoods that you've got, right? So if you got more time than money, you might be able to really take advantage of some of these things. And I mentioned social media auto posting. So if you're borrowing a listing and it goes out to social media because you connected it before you added the listing, you're going to get leads from that for free, right? And you'll find that you can share these things in other areas where it's not costing you money to get leads at all. A lot of our clients are kind of blown away that when you sign up, it's going to say what's your name and connect your social media and then get your listings. And as soon as you get listings in, we auto post them out, and in a couple hours people have leads and they don't know how this can be happening. So you can get leads for free. And I will tell you this, the social media or just some of the free automation will generate some leads, but there are a lot of tools in here, like these PDF guides that I was mentioning. You could print them and download them, door knock them. You could start really good conversations in your neighborhoods with these. It doesn't cost anything but time.
Perfect. So, I mean, everybody has time. And so you could do something very affordably. If you are somebody that has some money to spend on something and you feel like you've been trying to run ads and you've been spending money anyway, but it's not really getting you a good result because you're not an expert at this and you have to recreate all the wheels, this could be a place where you could put that money instead, and it could just be streamlined and with a better result because these guys know how to do it. And that's why I wanted to bring them on, because I'm hearing a lot of people say to me recently, because of the market shift, Vince, we got to find other ways to get in front of people who are motivated to buy or sell. And there are people who still need to buy and sell or still want to buy and sell despite the change in the market. But we have to find those people. It's not going to be as easy as it was 6 months ago. And then secondly, a lot of people have more time to do work. They just don't know what to do. And then thirdly, the more traditional model of just buying leads isn't reaping people the same benefit. I have a lot of people that have been purchasing leads for quite some time, and they've noticed a major change in the quality of the buyer leads from these old sources that they've been using for a lot of years or even months. In the past market, it was different and they had a better result than they're having now. Since I've been hearing that a lot, I just thought, let's just bring some different solutions that have had results. I've been in the mastermind group on Facebook for a long time since I've known you. And I mean, I see people sharing results all the time. So I know that the people that work the system do get results. And I do think it's a lower barrier to entry for some people who just can't spend a lot of money. And if they're like me, they're not going to figure out all of the ads and the Google pay-per-click stuff on their own. If they had a plug-and-play system that would help them do it, they'd probably be more likely to do it consistently. And the consistency of this is key. If you're going to do this, then get 2 or 3 listings every month and do it every month. And use the tools. So for those of us that maybe want to take this an opportunity, we're trying to figure out where we put our money in the months and for the new year, I just want to bring different solutions to you guys, because there's things that we can all do organically. There's things that we can plug into. We got to find what's right for us. There's nothing that's right for everyone, but this could be a solution for you or maybe somebody in your team or people that you're leading. And so that's why we wanted Vince to come on and share this today. Any other questions or thoughts quick? You guys have? I'm looking in the workplace to see if there's any questions here. One second.
I'm gonna share something with you while you're looking there, Carrie.
Yep.
Our system, we've been doing this for 13 years. We basically are always watching the market. And I think, any company wants to innovate, but we are a small company, right? We innovate very quickly as things sort of appear. If things break on the internet, if Facebook changes, which it changes about every week, we're on it. And it's really difficult. God, if I logged into Facebook to try to run an ad as just a single individual right now, I would be lost. I actually tried to do that a couple of weeks ago with somebody. I was like, I don't even know what they're doing here anymore. And I used to train Facebook ads every week for years, and now I'm lost, right? But the point is, we have that software, and we also know what's shifting and changing. I didn't mention it. We have a lot of tools to help you get video online for TikTok and for Instagram and for Facebook. There's just more and more. And so I don't want your heads to be spinning. I do want you to understand there's a ton of value in here. But one resource that's really helpful, if you have some time and you want to sort of figure out how you can leverage this in your business, is find our YouTube channel, go to our videos page. I do 3 training classes. Well, we do probably 2 or 3 every week. Scott's got a really great series that he's doing right now of how to make $250,000 in real estate. And it's a really high level look at just all the ways we should all be marketing. And then where does listings to leads plug in? But there are 3 classes that I always do. One is Facebook ads. One is get started. And that's obviously if you're going to get new and you want to know how to turn everything on and what you should really high level look at, get started covers all that. And then top tools for more listings. So when we're talking here today, it's a little bit of a hybrid of all 3 of those, right? But if you want more detail and to know some more step by step, those 3 classes are there all the time. And if you ever want to just know, like, I wonder what these guys are doing now, just catch the first 5 minutes of our classes and you're going to hear me talking about, hey, we just launched this, we just pushed this. And probably there's new technology in our platform every 2 weeks. Like sometimes it's every 4 weeks, but we just have a huge, crazy tech calendar that we're just always working on. And it's really just to bring more things, more ways to capture leads, but also a big focus for us since the beginning of this year and even in the last is to develop ways to help you convert leads. And that's because I don't think, I think I know that there's really no other real estate advertising platform that can generate the volume of leads that we can for our clients. Of course, they got to get in there and use the tools, right? But really it becomes very important if you can convert those, because that's when you get paid. And so that's really a big focus for us for the next couple of years here, is staying with the internet and staying with the market as it changes, where there's more opportunities for realtors, and then helping you convert those leads. So sorry, Carrie, did you find anything, or is there any questions out there?
No, we have a number of people watching. No questions out on the live stream chat. I don't think I see any questions in here either, but Haley did post your website here so people can grab it. So that would be good. What else? Anybody else have ideas or thoughts? Has anybody used listings to leads before, just out of curiosity?
Well, you're with EXP. I can tell you there's a lot of EXP people that are using us.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because we have access to listings so easily in this company. And that can sometimes be a challenge for other brokerages that are smaller because you only have the listings for the agents in your office. And so sometimes it's not as valuable if you can't go find the listings, but all of us at EXP shouldn't have a problem finding the listings. That's for sure.
I will also say you did mention teams, and I have been talking to you about agent accounts. We do have team accounts. So our smallest team account is for 5 agents for $200 a month, and we scale all the way up to thousands of agents. So, we fit in there. Okay. I'm going to also share one more thing. It's an aside and you may forget it, but it's on the social tab. And it's a cool tool for Instagram. This is for people who are using Instagram. You may notice that it's actually a little bit challenging to get leads from Instagram. They're not as, useful as Facebook in that regard. If you go here to new and you go to link in bio, this is something like, what is it? Linktree is what it is. So you can actually select what PDF guides you want to be showing and show your listings. And you can even put your Calendly button there, but you embed it in your profile. Now it's going to look kind of weird because this is mobilized for phones. But the articles that are coming from the social content that we were talking about earlier, all of your listings are here, your sold listings, anything that you have in your listings page, any of the PDF guides you've shown, and also your favorite landing pages that are here. So this can be snapped in. So if you do have an Instagram strategy, if that's part of your business, you should have something like this embedded in your profile, even if it's not ours. Ours is just interacting with real estate tools so that you can capture more leads. You should then be and whenever you're posting, just always say, hey, see link in bio, right? And that way you can actually capture leads from your Instagram stuff. My Instagram stuff is just the stuff I eat, my sailing and music stuff. So it's not relevant. But if you're looking at this for your real estate business, I think that's a really cool tool.
Awesome. What else? Anything, you guys? You guys are kind of quiet. Haley says that is super cool. Yes, we do use Linktree. So that's awesome. I haven't seen anything really integrate with Linktree before. So that's awesome.
Well, it's actually not Linktree. It's like a parallel company, but we were
similar.
Gotcha. Yeah, but we're able to dovetail it with our tools, which are tools to help you. Right.
Awesome. Very cool. Love it. Does anybody use something like a Linktree right now? A lot of agents should be using that. I find that most of them don't. So this, you know, the ancillary benefits of this, I think, are that you might get some other things set up in your business that you haven't already, right? Because it's going to force you to use the tools. So that's kind of cool. Awesome.
I should set this up so it could be on my Instagram.
You should.
I know. I mean, I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
You're like, yeah, tell me about it. Awesome. Well, this is great. Everybody's super quiet. We have good comments. I think everybody's taking notes. I'm watching them. I think it's all a learning process. So you guys can reach out. Can anybody join the Listings to Leads Masterminds on Facebook, or do you have to be a paying customer to be in there?
You do have to be a paying customer.
Okay. So you get added once you're a paying customer.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's a really cool one too, you guys, because they've created a really, they facilitated a very great group of people who are willing to share like their best practices to take advantage of it. If you're going to pay for it, take full advantage of it. So that group has been going for years, literally. Yeah. And it's really, really high engagement. So
yeah, I think what's great is this is a place where we announce what's coming on from a new tech perspective, but it's also where our clients come in and say, hey, you know what, this is what I did, or this is what I'm doing. So they'll ask questions, and then a lot of people say, you know, we just ran an ad or did something like this, and here's our results. So it helps everybody kind of learn what's going on, right? How, you know, what they can do. And it just gives you ideas of what you could be doing, you know, to improve your business. Oh yeah.
Awesome. So this is perfect. So Haley, we have all the stuff here in the chat that we need for people to reach out to Vince and or just go online and sign up. But if somebody had a specific question, is there a way or a best way that they might be able to get those answers prior to signing up, Vince?
Well, I think you should just email me, frankly. Okay. I'm Vince at Listings to Leads. Emailing is a lot easier than trying to call me, because sometimes I'm booked on the phone.
And listings and the number 2 leads.com, right?
Yep, just like our website. Yeah.
Yep, right here.
Yeah.
I just put it in the chat for you guys. Awesome. So we'll put your email address. We will, oh, sorry, I did it wrong. Vince at listing. Oh, Haley did it. Haley, don't look at mine. Look at Haley's. Why do you even listen to me, you guys? You should listen to Haley, because I have no detail orientation. Okay, so Haley has put Vince's email address and website. We're going to copy and paste this and put this in the live stream as well. But grab it now if you guys want to before we log off too. Any final comments, Vince, or anything else that you want us to know before we sign off?
No, I can't remember any right now. I think
you gave us a lot of information.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else? Forever hold your peace if you're not going to speak up now. All right. I think it's a great opportunity. If you guys have some ideas around it, let me know, and I will be happy to chat with you about it. I know many of you have talked to me about different options for leads, and so I'd love to help you, you know, figure out if this is the right path for you or what is the right path for you. Because again, you got to commit to something and do it. But I think it could be good for some people, and so that's why we wanted to bring this exposure of this great program to you guys. So thanks for being here, Vince. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you, Carrie. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.